Hello and welcome everyone to Super Gamecraft Super Gamecast. I mean,
I don't know. It's just,
we're doing a show tonight. Whatever it's called, it don't matter. You're here with us. We're talking video games. My name is Aaron. Almost forgot my own name. That's how on the ball we are today. Joining me is Bronson. How you doing, bud?
I am the Bronson. I am the most Bronson that ever Bronson.
Very true. It's very true. If you don't know Bronson, you
Mhm.
do now. Sorry.
Yep.
I
I am
apologize.
the only one. I am the only Bronson.
Well, it's been a week. We got some video game news to talk about for sure. And man, video games are coming out.
Yeah, Death Stranding out. I mean, if you bought the deluxe edition, it's out right
It's
now.
already
But
out, yeah.
if you're a pleb like me who collects physical copies for PlayStation still, then you're waiting until Thursday.
Yeah. And so this is actually very weird. Usually video game summers are like it's like nothing. You know?
I feel like that has changed in recent years.
I don't know when it happened, but I'm still stuck in the past.
Yes, I was having that conversation with my girlfriend not that long ago where I was just like, it's really weird how much shit is coming out in the summer these days,
Mm-hmm.
and how like winters are a little more lean. Like I'm looking at like last summer and it was like, yeah, you got that Destiny 2 expansion,
Yep.
you got Shin Megami Tensei 5,
Right.
Vengeance, like that came out.
Yep.
At and Kaitos got ported to modern systems.
Mm-hmm.
You got that Final Fantasy expansion.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, Zenless Zone Zero came out last summer.
That's right. Man.
You know, like there was a, you know, and that's just like June and early July. Like I'm looking at this list and it's just like, you know, July was a little thin. You know, like but college football and Kunitsugami came out.
Yeah.
And SNK versus Capcom Chaos.
Right.
Disgaea 7 Complete came out last July.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it like we are of a different time where largely the summer was seen as a waste until Madden came out.
Right. You were thankful if you could get some stuff in that early spring era. Like you'd get a sprinkling of things in that winter, and then try to get a push during that like April May, and then summer just goosh until Madden.
Yeah, like April May would typically have some good stuff. Like I remember Red Dead 1 and Mario Galaxy 2 came out in May.
Yep.
But like you would have this like from E3 until whenever Madden came out, it was a wasteland.
Yeah.
And I remember that started to change a little bit during the 360. And the reason is because of Summer of Arcade. Like I remember Summer of Arcade would come out, and that's when you'd get stuff like Shadow Complex or Bastion, or you had a lot of really good indie games happening in that time period. But with the exception of Summer of Arcade, yeah, it was just it was bullshit. It was absolute bullshit. It was a garbage land of sand and sadness. You know, I remember like every now and when E3 shifted to being in June, games started to move up a little bit. So like Infamous 2 and 1 came out in early June. Duke Nukem Forever came out in June with Child of Eden and a couple other games. And then like something happened during the PS4 generation where people were just like, "Oh, just put games out whenever. Who
Right.
cares? Nobody gives a shit. People are playing games all year round. This is stupid."
And then games of various qualities and sizes, just more and more have been coming out ever since, and now it just feels like it's nonstop.
Yeah, like I have a game tracker for every year that I'm interested in, right? And it's just like legitimately every month this like from June, so right now, until the end of the year, or at least until November, because we don't have release dates for some of these.
Right.
So like until November, there's at least 2 games I'm interested in. So like June, it was Death Stranding 2 and all the Switch 2 launch stuff. Next month, it's Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Tony Hawk and Mecha Break. August, it's Mafia, Metal Gear Solid 3 and Story of Seasons. September is Sonic Cross Worlds Racing. October is Ghost of Yotei, Neon Inferno, Keeper, Ninja Gaiden 4, Outer Worlds 2, and then like I have 6 games on here that are just the release date is sometime this year. So it's like, yeah, it's the spigot never stops.
Not anymore.
And like, because basically my entire childhood until my mid-20s was, you had your waves. You had like Madden would come out and it would be a constant like run up of releases until Madden would come out and be a constant run up of releases until about February. February is when stuff would really lean out. You wouldn't be getting that many releases in February. February was pretty dead. But then after your February break, you'd get a bunch of releases in March, April, and May. And then yeah, like we talked about, just the summer dead zone.
I wonder what the logic behind that was.
I think it was. I honestly think it was just people weren't buying games for their kids in that time period, I guess.
I mean, I certainly understand after Christmas there not being a big push to buy games. Like I feel like a big that push was happening around Black Friday to up to and maybe a little bit after Christmas because some people get gift cards or whatever.
Yes. Like I have very good memories of my teenage years taking gift cards down to GameStop the days after Christmas to buy a shit ton of video games.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people just went in waves. It was, Black Friday to Christmas, and then you took a break, and then spring was like, all right, I've saved some money. All right, then summer goes down, and then Madden season, like what, August to October, November?
Yeah, it's like August to November. Like I think every now and then you get a publisher who's really trying to get into the game of the year conversation, so they release like in December, like the first week of December. Like, out of curiosity, I pulled up summer 2008.
Yeah,
the first summer we did this, and like this, like, okay, so I'm gonna count summer from everything June onward.
Okay.
All right, so we're doing June 1st onward. You got Wolf of the Battlefield Commando 3.
What?
No idea what this game is.
Okay.
It's a isometric shooter.
Sure.
You got SNK Arcade Classics.
Okay.
Now, this one, I don't know why they put this here, but the week after E3 that year, you had Metal Gear Solid 4 and Wii Fit.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, really weird.
Yeah.
Then you had Lego games and some Jason Bourne shovelware.
Oh, man, the Jason Bourne game. All right, yeah.
And then you had Guitar Hero Aerosmith. You had the Soul Calibur 1 port to 360, that it was cool that it was an HD, but it was missing single player missions and online play.
Oh, good.
It's like, why bother?
I mean, what year was that? 08? Like,
that was 08.
We're making that transition from couch co-op era to fully online era.
Yeah. You got Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit, which was just like a huge step back from Budokai, except for the fact that it was really pretty for the time.
Sure. Yes.
You got Sid Meier's
right.
Civ Revolution. You got Geometry Wars 2.
Okay.
That's a good game. It's smaller, but it's a good game.
Yeah.
Really, the only thing notable from that particular summer of arcade. Battlefield Bad Company 1, though.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You got the 360 port of Unreal Tournament, which is the worst version of the game.
Cool.
You got 2 Human.
Oh, God. All right.
You got Fable 2 pub games.
Oh, man, yeah.
That piece of crap that everyone exploited to start Fable 2 with all the money in the world.
Whatever you got to do, I guess.
Bionic Commando Rearm, though, coming in hot.
Oh, okay.
Got Strong Bad's Cool Game for Attractive People, Episode 1.
Sure.
Soul Calibur 4, that was okay.
That was all right, yeah. Coming off of Soul Calibur 3, sure.
Yeah, Galaga Legions and Space Siege and 1942 Joint Strike. All of these are like the definition of 3 out of 5s, 2 out of 5s in my mind.
Okay, yeah.
Ratchet and Clank Quest for Booty, which that was the like 3-hour downloadable thing. It was fine. It was a good game.
Yeah, sure.
Like for $15, it was a little short.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and then that was summer 2008.
Yeah.
So like you opened real strong with Metal Gear and Battlefield, which goes back to our point. You would have like one or two kind of big games. The publishers like, we're gonna own the summer, and then just fucking nothing. Like just fucking starving in the fucking wasteland. Especially if you didn't care for those games. If you didn't care for the particular big hit of the summer. Like, oh my god, dude!
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, the limitations of releases during that time made it so like covering video games. When we started this in 2008, covering video games generally was not an insurmountable task. You have to understand it was doable.
Like there was a lot. There was a lot of fucking games, but if you had a team of about 6 people, like we had at TGA, and especially if you had a team of like 10 people, easy,
right?
Super easy.
You could do it.
Versus like now, where like it just feels impossible.
It's better to just pick your niche and build around your niche than try to build a team.
Yeah. For curiosity's sake, I wanted to bring up the following year because it was like way worse.
All right, we'll do that, and then we'll get to news here. Worse. But I want to see this.
All right. So you had Prototype on June 10th.
Yeah, that piece of shit I love so goddamn much.
You had Red Faction Guerrilla.
Yeah.
Which, an alright game. That's alright.
It's alright. These are 2 alright games. Like they're not amazing, but I like them.
Those are both games where I sit down and I'm like, that's a good 3 out of 5 right there.
3 out of 5s. There's a wide gap in a 3 out of 5. Is it a bad 3 out of 5 or is it a good 3 out of 5? Those are 2 good 3 out of 5s, man.
See the way I've been reviewing games for our channel is like anything time that I give something if I'm like, is this a good or a bad 3 out of 5? I just immediately throw it into the 2 column.
Right. If it's bad 3 out of 5, it's 2 out of 5. I mean, that's kind of what those are, right? Like a good 3 out of 5 is really a 4 out of 5. It's just
you have to make the call as the reviewer. Ghostbusters, the video game.
Yeah.
That is another video game that I would call the okayest.
That's an alright 3 out of 5. That was a pretty neat little Ghostbusters thing. If you're a Ghostbusters fan, you definitely get that game.
If you're a fan of platformers, you had your first The Legendary Starfy on DS.
Okay.
That's not a bad little platformer. Sam & Max Save the World if you're a point and click fan.
Sure.
We have our first what I would call a 4 out of 5. Fight Night Round 4.
Oh man, yeah. All right.
Yeah. That might have been the last one of those. So yeah, we got another Guitar Hero expansion, Guitar Hero Smash Hits.
This expansion era for Guitar Hero was not great. Probably sold
it was
fine,
not.
But
there's a reason they kept doing it.
Yeah. Yes.
There's a reason they kept doing it.
Look, it made sense when they were like Metallica and then AC/DC and Green Day and Beatles.
But even Aerosmith, I was like, yeah, okay.
Aerosmith, I understood, but I was just like, I'm not gonna pay this money. But okay, there are people who are reliving their prime rockin' years through this. That makes sense.
This game is next game is next definition of a 2 out of 5 in a big way. The Conduit. Anyone remember what the Conduit is?
I will recall explain the name. Wait a minute. The Conduit.
The
Oh,
Conduit
okay.
was a Wii game. It was a Wii game
Wow, this
where
box art.
it was
Yes.
it was a shooter, and it was one of those games. It was like Mad World, The Conduit, and one other thing that were like the justification for hardcore games on the Wii.
Oh
And
man.
I'm like, this shit didn't need a justification. The Wii was sick. No More
Uh,
Heroes was awesome. Tatsunoko versus Capcom and Zack and Wiki were great.
mm-hmm.
It was just a bunch of fucking assholes shitting on these games for no reason.
They were pushing this
Conduit
and
was
Red Steel.
Yeah, Red Steel 1 was bad. Red Steel 2 was good though.
I heard Red Steel 2 was all right.
The game was good. Like the sword stuff actually worked because you had the Wii Motion Plus, so it was actually 1-to-1.
That was one of the big things
Real
with the
deal.
Wii was like, you could make some good sword combat out of this, and it was like Red Steel 2 and Skyward Sword.
Those were the two games that did it.
Those
Yeah,
were the two
just
for
like
whatever reason.
Just like you could have made a lot of really good shooters with the Wii, and there's like one, and it's a great game.
Dude, like imagine like some Sword and Shield gameplay with the Wiimote and the nunchuck with the motion controls, and like you could really do something with that. And yeah, just one really
It
capitalized.
did. It was called Skyward Sword.
Which I don't know. Yeah, again, leaving it to Nintendo to make the most of the thing that they made. It's like, damn, you guys. All right.
Yep. Tales of Monkey Island Chapter 1.
All right.
That was a fun little reboot. That's another game. That's a 3 out of 5. That's all right.
Yeah.
Funny game.
Sure.
The Sims 3.
Hey, all right.
That came out in 9.
Sims 3. The Sims.
It did it. Yeah, it was 09. Okay, fair enough. Trine.
Wow,
Trine's a good game. I'm
Trine
not
came
into it,
out.
but fine.
Okay.
The HD re-release of Monkey Island. So this is the time. This is like 09 when you really started seeing Summer of Arcade and PlayStation's equivalent really pop off. This because Battlefield 1943 hit.
Okay.
You had a piece of shit called Call of Juarez hit.
Call of Juarez. Yeah.
The first Blaze Blue came out that summer.
Okay.
Summer 09. Then Wii Sports Resort.
Oh, sure.
The better Wii Sports.
Again, this is a lot of like interesting games, not necessarily 5 out of 5s, any of them, but like it's if it goes into your specific wheelhouse, fantastic for you, but they're like very specific.
Also, I'm gonna be real. I think that if Wii Sports Resort kind of is a 5 out of 5.
That's
I think
fine.
that's the game.
I'm not interested in those kinds of games, but for people who are, I'm sure it's good.
Speaking of another game that it's right on the border of a 5 out of 5, Shatter. That came out that summer.
Shatter.
That was like that breakout game. If they breakout arcade, but fucking crazy and techno.
Was this another
This was a PlayStation Network summer release thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never played this. I've seen the logo before, but yeah.
It was so fucking good.
Interesting.
It was so good. So yeah, you had Marvel vs. Capcom 2's HD re-release thingamajig.
Oh, okay. That's
that came out.
Notable for the fighting game people.
Yep. Explosion Man came out.
Good old Explosion Man. I love Explosion Man.
Did a really bad G.I. Joe game and a really bad Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game.
Great.
Fat Princess.
Yeah, Fat Princess.
Continuing the like. See, this was the thing. Is like all your really good indie games came out in the fucking summer.
Right.
That's what was going on. Is like you would get your big indie dump off in the summer because it was an open space with Summer of Arcade, and PlayStation had a name for theirs. It just wasn't as catchy.
Right. No. Nope.
Speaking of Summer of Arcades, Shadow Complex.
There you go.
Wolfenstein, not the New Order reboot thing, but like the 2008 Wolfenstein by Raven Software.
It's just a reboot
The
of
game
the
was
name.
okay.
Just Wolfenstein.
Yeah, it's just Wolfenstein.
Huh.
The game was all right. I kind of put it in the same category that I put Singularity into, where it's like, this was an all right shooter.
Mm-hmm.
If you stranded me with a PS3 or a 360 and were like, you got to play Wolfenstein, I'd be like, yeah, all right.
Right.
Cool.
All right.
Professor Layton and Diabolical Box. That was that summer.
Okay.
That's a good game. And then leaning into the Madden season thing because it came out the same week, the last week of August. We have our probably first real big AAA release of the summer with Batman Arkham Asylum.
There it is.
Yeah, and then I forgot about this one. It was back in June. Rock Band Unplugged. That was like
another.
Yep. That was Amplitude, but rock music for the PSP.
Amplitude
game was
cool.
awesome. I loved that game.
Yeah, it was another it's it's a game. It's a time to try out some different games, but there's not your must plays in this 3-month slot.
Yeah, it's not like today where it's like. And yes, I realize that Metal Gear 4 came out in summer 2008, but that's the only Kojima game that has come out in summer. Like all the others come out like October, November, December, maybe August at the soonest. So like Death Stranding 2 is in the middle of the summer, a new Tony Hawk, a fucking Nintendo mainline platformer that they're really hyping up is dropping in the middle of July.
Yep.
The middle of freaking July.
A month after the release of their console and their mainline part game. Like
Also that's a weird a June console launch feels weird.
Sure.
I realize they did it for the N64. I get that. It's like not unheard of. But I'm also like looking at the release dates of consoles in North America, and it's just like November,
yeah,
March, November, November. It's like always November, and then like you have a couple of weird ones, like you have the Switch in March, or you have the 3DS in March. But it's always like it's not common for a console to come out in the dead heat of summer.
I guess they're just not anticipating, a demand to lower the price by the time Black Friday comes around.
I guess so. Because the SNES and okay, so the NES was weird because it had that like staggered release because of they did the New York test market, but it was October.
Mm-hmm.
And then the SNES was August, the last week of August. The North American N64 was September. Summer for Japan was June. And then every other Nintendo console except for the Switch was November. So it just feels really goddamn weird. Xbox has always been November. Every single Xbox has been November. And I need to look up PlayStation real quick.
Sure. We're here. We're talking video games.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm also looking at our first news story here. I'm like, we can keep talking about this.
Just anything to delay the suffering. Fucking hate the internet.
Me too. Why are we on here? Get me out of this box.
Because we like being creative, and we also can't work real jobs.
Very true.
Anyway, so PlayStation has literally always been September or later. There are only two exceptions. There is the PSP, which came out in March. Unless you were in Japan, it was December. And the Vita, which came out in December in Japan, February in North America.
So they just had a completely different strategy for their handhelds for some reason.
They probably wanted to stagger. They're like, oh, well, if you bought a PlayStation for Christmas, then like you'll want the handheld for spring.
I suppose.
But yeah, like all their like mainline console releases have been November, except for PS2, which was the last week of October.
Sure.
And then the PS1, which was September.
Yeah.
So it just feels very weird to be getting a new console in the dead heat of summer, especially because like that means you're putting out your main Donkey Kong, your big gun in the middle of July.
They got Metroid coming, man.
Yeah, and Pokemon. Like Pokemon is out in October.
Yeah. Yep. No, I think they lined up their releases pretty well. I know you were saying earlier that they feels like they're missing one more, but I don't know.
Yeah, maybe this is just a me and my taste thing. Like
yeah.
It's my Pokemon. It's my aversion to Pokemon.
Yeah, I feel weird about this.
Not excited.
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta be honest. As a Pokemon fan, I feel this being kind of like a weird side thing. I don't know if that'll impact sales at all. But also, like, here's a Pokemon game in this engine that suffered from the Switch 1 that we know is going to probably perform well with the Switch 2, and that maybe that bumps sales if people even care about that or are informed about that. I don't know.
Right, and then like they got other stuff coming. Like they I didn't play that Kirby game on Switch 1, and now it's all cleaned up.
Yep.
And apparently Kirby, that Kirby Sakurai game is coming, and Professor Layton is coming, and they got a bunch of third parties and indies. Like they got a new Hyrule Warriors, and I'm like, and Hades 2. That's gonna be the only console it launches on this year.
Which again, of all the consoles to pick, that's a good one for Hades.
Yep. So most of my Hades time was on Switch 1.
Yeah. It's a good mobile like console game.
Yes. Hollow Knight Silksong's supposed to be out this year.
Right.
And then I will say that Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment has me interested. I want to play Age of Calamity, but I am also sitting here praying, being like, you should put out a patch that unlocks the frame rate. you should do that.
You should do that. I don't
That'd
know.
be really cool.
It would be. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna do it, but they should.
No, and to be fair, at least it runs now, because it used to like not hit even 30 for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, but now it apparently hits a locked 30, easy, no problem.
All right.
So I'm like, yeah, you know what? I might pick that up anyway, because about once a decade I get the itch to do a Warriors game, and like Hyrule Warriors seems like kind of the perfect fit. So.
That's a perfect fit for you to try. Give it a shot.
Yeah. Yeah, kill a bunch of dudes. Good times.
Yeah. All right. We got some news stories for this week. Some of them, some of them I'm interested in talking about, and some of them I'm not. Let's get this first one going here. Let's rip this Band-Aid off. Hey, Xbox is reportedly planning another round of major layoffs next week. Reorganizing again, or is this the continuation of that reorganization?
I think this is just this is the continued culling of talent because of over hiring during COVID, and then they had their big merger, their big boy merger. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Everyone, welcome to Super Layoffkast, a podcast about layoffs. Every week we have to report about some fucking layoffs.
Yep.
And in some cases, there are companies that don't even need layoffs.
Right.
Like this is a company that doesn't need layoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Like at all. If anything, Xbox in particular needs every last bit of talent and help they can get.
Right. I don't even understand. Like, where is this coming from specifically within Xbox? Do we know?
So, like, we don't know what what part of Xbox, but it's part of a company-wide reorganization.
Right.
It plans to cut thousands of jobs, mostly consisting of salespeople. It's also going to be the gaming division. It'll be the 4th round of major layoffs at Xbox in the past 18 months.
Damn.
It was then, while these layoffs covered Microsoft as a whole, it was reported Bethesda and 343 was affected by them. Halo Infinite had suffered a significant number of layoffs across the company, which were heaviest towards individuals working on the single-player side of the studio.
Wow. Man, what is... They're working on that next gen Halo still, right?
Yeah, they're working on their first thing they're doing is Halo 1 in Unreal 5.
Right.
You're getting that Halo 1, but all prettied up.
So that sounds like they laid off some people from there?
Yeah, supposedly.
Great. Good.
Yeah, so I'm really bummed about this because this means Microsoft's going to lean heavily into live service even more because of what they've said here, like mostly layoffs in the single player side of things. They don't need that.
PlayStation's in the middle of learning this lesson right now, man.
Well, like, I'll say this. Microsoft has a lot more success with live service than PlayStation. Like, a lot more, like, significantly more. But this is
especially
still
with Call of Duty under their belt, but, like...
Yeah, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Diablo, like, they have a lot, but, like,
but
it's
they
still
inherited
concerning.
That.
Yes, but, like, Gears of War has still been successful.
If they can get another Gears of War out, holy shit.
Well, they got that remake of the first one coming, and apparently the beta did pretty well, especially on PlayStation.
Yeah.
By the way, this has been the slowest, most painful march of watching a company go third party. It's so, so apparently what they're working on for their next Xbox and there is like a store you can download that integrates Steam into it. And we talked about this a little bit last week, and I'm just like, I was like sitting here going like, I think I'm just gonna move. If you can get these original Xbox and 360 games and my Xbox One/Series, I mean the Series library already does work on it, but like continued support for that working on my computer, then I will absolutely move my main Xbox to the living room and then like just hook my computer to my TV.
Yeah.
Like just in the office. Like at that point, if you can get my entire library from Xbox working on handhelds and PCs, it's like, cool. Let's put this out of its misery. Let's call it a day and just put this box out to pasture.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and they own a lot of great IP. It's just, and it's then the console market will be Sony and Nintendo, and those couldn't be more opposed audiences.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sony is slowly bringing all their games to PC. Granted, they're not day and date. If you're like me and you want to play stuff soon, it's like, or you're just like me and slowly trending away from PC because you don't like. Once again, I work here. We do the channel stuff here.
Yep.
Like, I don't want to do my entertainment here.
I like it. It's just that my computer can't take it, and I don't have the funds to make it the thing that can do it all at once.
Yeah, and that's another aspect of it is just like, your PC is hitting its fifth. I think it actually is hitting its 5th birthday like this month, and my PC hit its 5th birthday around the same time, and like I'm looking to build a ground up rebuild like real soon here, and it's. I have the PC part picker list, and like, yeah, dude, it's expensive.
Right.
Really expensive. Because I want this to be a case where I get top level performance for another 5 to 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna, for every game I plug into it, and that's gonna cost a shit ton of money.
Yep. Yeah. But like,
so
like the thing with PlayStation staggering their releases is like, I think that was more of an interesting choice when there was a direct competitor trying to like get stuff out here. Game 1 on Game Pass here, day 1 on Game Pass. Here you go. And now it just seems like they've given up on the console aspect. They're just gonna be everywhere, and so there's no real pressure on PlayStation at this point with that. So it'll work for them. Just keep doing that.
Yeah, and I think staggering the releases is smart, because if PlayStation can get you in their ecosystem, then that's more beneficial to them, because they make money on the hardware. Not much, but hey, every unit, that's $20.
Right.
And then if you end up buying games in their store,
mm-hmm.
they get a way bigger cut of that than on Steam.
And with no one trying to fight against them, great. Now it's a fantastic strategy. Now they're good.
Yeah, now they're just like, all right, hey, come buy a PlayStation. You don't want to buy a PlayStation, and you're willing to wait. Great, you can play it on your computer. You're just gonna have to do it a year to 2 years later.
Yeah, fine.
That's okay.
That's okay.
That's not. I'm someone who's wildly impatient, and they happen to have a lot of games I want to play.
Exactly.
So I will pay and also I like having a 4K Blu-ray player around. So
I was gonna say, we're gonna be getting the consoles anyway, even if it's not even the impatient bit. It's just get the console. That's the kind of crowd we are.
Yeah, like that too. It's I like a lot of the time. I just like the console experience.
I picked up a Switch day one so that I could get that new console smell, man. Watch the intro screen.
Yeah. You get that. The Switch had some pretty good music. That transfer sequence, that was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. This is just shitty.
I wish the best of luck to the people that got laid off, and Microsoft. Man, I don't know. I don't know what's happening here.
And it's just it feels like they were finally hitting a stride the end of last year. They finally hit a good spot. You had you had that setup where Call of Duty came out, Indiana Jones came out, Ninja Gaiden came out, Avowed came out, South of Midnight came out, Expedition 33 and Oblivion were both Game Pass games. Doom, they had pretty much on average a game a month.
Yeah.
I got so much use out of my game. I keep track of how much of what I'm playing is on Game Pass, and half of what I've played this year is on Game Pass.
Right.
And most of these games have been pretty good. So I'm just okay, why are we shooting ourselves in the foot now?
I mean, again, this feel like they've months ago had given up on that. They're keeping it going because it's making them some money, but I think they've given up on that plan entirely. Even with the potential right in front of their faces, I think they're just committing to a entirely different direction.
Yep. Well, and you can see that in the hardware. The fact that they're our next console is basically going to be a PC.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're seeing it in their handheld, even where their handheld is we've partnered with Asus to make it.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. So.
For that thing, every rumor in the world says it's going to be $800.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes, man.
I can't. I love handhelds, and I think that thing is awesome, but dude, no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, just no.
There's so much going on, and I don't know if they make something amazing, great, but I can't fathom what that is. We'll have to see, right?
Yeah, me neither.
So,
okay.
Speaking of layoffs,
layoffs. I
just want to play a game. I just want to make a game. Layoffs. Damn it! Oh my god.
Go on.
NFL season's coming close. I can't wait to not watch it.
Yes. This is the first time the Broncos have a chance at being
I know. Yeah, you got to watch.
Contender.
Yeah.
No, but I waited in the desert for too long to not keep going.
I don't blame you. I'm taking a year off. That's good.
So that's fine. Hey.
But hey, Mind's Eye, which if you were here last week, is a video game.
It is trash.
The studio has reportedly started mass layoffs. More than 100 staff could be affected. Maybe, when this isn't confirmed, but it's not something that's difficult to imagine, given the state of the game as we've seen it. So, what's going on here, Bronson?
Yeah. So the company is planning to lay off 20 between 20 and 99 staff. It has to start a consultation period at least 30 days before any dismissals. However, if it's planning to lay off 100 or more, it needs to be 45 days. Most people are speculating at least 100 of its 300 employees could be facing redundancy. Since their game's release on June 10th, media has been flooded with videos of the game's bugs, technical issues, and to the extent that PlayStation has began refunding multiple players. The last time this happened was the launch of Cyberpunk 2077. They did an apology that no one believed.
Yeah.
And it is the lowest rated game of the year on the PS5 version. On Steam, it is mostly negative reviews. Only 37% are positive, which that's actually shockingly high. And then in an interview earlier this month before the game's release, the assistant director told us that while Build a Rocket Boy was working on everywhere in Mind's Eye, most of the staff was focused on Mind's Eye. It doesn't show. Whilst we've got a big development team, part of the team was focused on everywhere for a while. Probably a larger part was always focused on Mind's Eye. A game of this kind of quality and scale needs a lot of artists, needs a lot of coders, needs a lot of everything, right? Needs a lot of love. It did, and it did not get it.
All right. There are aspects of this game that clearly, there was love put into it, and there was some interesting stuff and some talented work in terms of making this GTA-esque environment, but there are other aspects of it just like, dude, what are you doing?
It just, like, you can go check the footage later this week for the quick look. I don't know how to, tell anybody about this game.
You guys should really watch that video when this comes out later this week. We Bronson played it. We did not get none of the frame rate issues translated to our video, which certainly impacts.
I literally think that was the editing smoothing the game out.
Well, we have trouble with our own technology trying to stream our own stream well, and the technology for Mind's Eye is like, okay, we're gonna give you a pass. You get a little help. In this one bit.
Yeah. So, and there's tons of micro stutter that also might not show up on a recording.
All right, the micro stutter, and yeah, that doesn't show up on the recording at all. But there's other stuff happening here, just design. There's game design, map design in certain spots. It's just like, what is going on?
So, if this game ran at 720p instead of 4K, and you told me that this was a 360 game or a PS3 game that came out in summer of 2007, I would have been like, oh yeah, I believe that.
Right.
Yeah.
This game came out alongside Fracture.
Yep. I totally, yeah. This game came out right next to Army of Two.
Haze.
Or Haze. I totally been like, oh yeah, totally, I believe that. Mm-hmm.
And it's a shame because this one I see the promise. I see the GTA DNA in there.
I saw the promise in Army of Two, to be fair. I was like, oh, I see the Gears of War.
Army of Two got 2 games, and there are people that swear that they could make another one, but
I swear to God, if EA chooses to make a new Army of Two before a new Burnout, I will lose my shit.
Dude,
I will go postal. I will kick down the CEO of EA's door and be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Yeah.
Dude, you could do. This is it. Here. I'm taking the story away. Here's what you could do. You could make Army of Two Battle Royale. It's duos, and then you're just picking up stuff
I think that Gears of War, if you were to put some AI combatants in it, could be a really good horde mode. Genuinely, it could be a really sick, or not horde mode, it's really sick battle royale.
I
think, if you were to put AI combatants, have 3-way fights between you, the other people in the battle royale, and then the AI in a Gears of War Horde mode, I think that could be really cool.
Ah, man, you're behind. The Gears of War Extraction. That's where it's at.
Okay. I mean, yeah. Yeah, all right.
Anyway, Mind's Eyes. Okay, so we're losing probably quite a bit of people, and then it's all in an effort to, I assume, save this game, and the studio.
Yeah, like I want to say they are owned by you know, like I think they're owned by the Hitman people. So it's not like they have a ton of money to lose. You know.
Right. It's just cuz yeah, I see I look at this and there are developers that were part of this game that have a place in AAA game development 100%. But what has come together here is not good on a couple different levels.
Let's put it this way. I don't return games even if they're kind of mediocre. I usually just keep them. I absolutely returned this game to Amazon.
Sure.
I got my money back, and I bought a copy of Capcom Fighting Game Collection 2
All right.
with it.
Okay.
And I bought a copy of Inglourious Bastards on 4K Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And the quality movie starring Paul Rudd. Role model.
Yeah. All right.
So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I wish the best to the people that were laid off, and the people that are going to continue working on this game despite the state it's in, because that's an uphill battle if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, I don't think this game is going to get the Cyberpunk redemption. I don't even think this is going to be get the Assassin's Creed Unity redemption, where like Unity got good once there was hardware that could run it.
Interesting.
Like I think this is just going to be I think that they're going to try and fix it, and it's going to go bad, and they're going to be like, what about Everywhere, our like game maker platform? And then IO Interactive is going to go, lol, no. Some of you will stay to work in the Hitman mine, or sorry, now the James Bond mine.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Some of you will stay to work in the James Bond mine. The rest of you will go.
So. Damn. All right. Well, that's Mind's Eye and Build a Rocket Boy. Let's move on to the next one. This is interesting.
Okay. All right. I was pretty stoked. I was actually stoked when this news came out. I was like, "Oh man, I cannot wait to share this with everyone in our work chat."
Sure, SpongeBob and Sonic are gonna race each other. Sure, whatever.
And Patrick, don't forget Patrick.
How could I forget Patrick? Oh, how could I forget?
Scroll down and scroll down and show some of the footage.
There's footage.
Yeah,
oh boy! All right.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me
click play on that. That should look fine. It looks like it's sized right on my end.
I'm just trying to make sure the audio's okay. All right.
Oh.
All right. We got some chows. Yep.
I'm very excited for this.
This is a good kart racer game now, apparently.
This year we're getting 3 arcade racing games. Couldn't be happier.
All right, we got Patrick. Yep.
Yeah.
SpongeBob and Shadow racing together. It's good.
Yep. Shadow is it is the pair of ultimate life forms coming to fight each other.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
So.
Sure. You know what? Are we adding more? Is there any other franchises I should know about getting into this?
Yeah. So Hatsune Miku.
Right.
Gonna be in it.
Yep.
Then they're also gonna have Ichiban from Yakuza.
Okay.
Then they're also gonna have Joker from Persona 5. And then the season pass.
Time later.
Yeah, and then the season pass they have they're gonna have the Ninja Turtles, as we can see here.
Right.
And then we're gonna have Avatar Legends.
So yeah. Yep. Okay. So this is just gonna be the Smash Bros of kart racing.
If you put it that way, hello.
That's what it sounds like.
Hello. I know the SGK crew was getting this for Switch 2. I'm pretty geeked about it. Oh, come on. Give me you're not excited about. The last one was good. I played the last one. It was all right. I played
Isn't this
it.
different from Transformed?
It's basically Transformed.
Is it the same developer?
I think so. And I own both those games. I can check. Hold on.
Because I'm not seeing any of the. It's more of a standard kart racer. It looks like.
Hold on. Let me
Sonic
find
and
out.
All Stars Racing Transformed, developed by Sumo Digital.
Oh yeah, it might be different.
Sonic.
Who is this developed by?
Crossover.
Yeah, this is being developed by Sonic Team.
Oh well, okay. Sonic Team. Sonic Team, really? All right.
I mean, Sonic Team can put out good games. They did Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Yeah, I'm not saying they don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's going on with Sonic these days? They had Frontiers come out, right?
Yeah, and they had Origins. They had Sonic X Shadow Generations, which was pretty good.
Right. All right.
It's hard for me. It's hard for me to talk Sonic because they peaked with Mania. They peaked so unbelievably hard with Mania.
It was Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 and Heroes. I liked that era specifically right then. And then yeah, Sonic Mania. I liked the Sonic Advance games, although they weren't like amazing. It was just fun.
Actually, I think Sonic Advanced is criminally underrated. I think those are.
You think they're underrated? I feel like people generally like those.
I feel like no one ever talks about them.
Well, they talked about them like 10 years ago. I guess probably don't talk about it much now, being a Game Boy Advance game. But yeah, they were good. Yeah, I don't know. Wonder how much it'll come out. I wonder what the price point will be.
Oh, this game is $70.
Fuck. What?
Welcome to video games in 2025. That is the AAA game.
We've been talking about varying pricing in 2025.
Apparently, Sega is like, this is a $70 game, homie.
I mean, I can see an argument where if you're buying this for a kid's household, this seems like a must get, but I'm definitely not getting this at 70. Holy crap.
I don't know. It's tempting. It's still tempting at that price even, but I'm also
I mean, if you got the money for it, man, you go for it. But I'm literally here like I think I should get a physical copy of Death Stranding 2 so I can play it and then trade it in. Like that's where I'm at.
Fair.
But yeah, neat thing. We're gonna have Sonic crossing over with a bunch of others. I'm very much looking forward to the eventual Sonic and Friends and Mario at the kart racing Olympics. Be great.
Oh yeah, I forgot. They also are crossovering with Minecraft. Minecraft levels.
Sure.
Forgot about that. My bad.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it was fun.
I mean, it's fun. It's a fun thing to do for sure.
I am, and to be fair, it's just I have seen so many $70 games, and they're probably counting on this. That and I just buy less games because of it.
It's less $70 specifically. It's that it's the full price AAA price for what I just saw. Like, nah.
I mean, also to Sega's credit, Sega is sitting here going like, well, I mean, Mario Kart's $80.
Well, again, this goes back to what people feared with pushing it up, is that everyone instead goes up instead of varying pricing. I think the people who embrace varying pricing structures will benefit, but I think this strategy will be rough. I think they can pull it off with this because Sonic, SpongeBob, Minecraft, Avatar, like it'll do all right. But
if this is a kid or even like a young teen household,
yeah,
this is gonna be like a must own. This is gonna be like
that's an
everybody
easy
in the household here.
But that's an easy no for me.
My girlfriend likes the Sonic racing games, and she's like, "Are you gonna get that?" And I'm like, "Probably."
I think if they did that and then it played like Transformed, I would maybe consider it. Especially if there hadn't been already a Mario Kart that hadn't come out a month ago too. Like,
that's fair.
That's a rough sell for me, but I think anyone who's looking to play
you
a
want
SpongeBob
more
game.
arcade racing games.
Okay, you know what kind of arcade racing games I want. Kart racing is a different portion of the entire racing genre, and you know that.
I feel so. I actually looked up Sega's like catalog to see where stuff is priced.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was kind of curious. It's kind of weird. Like it feels like they don't judge the value by IP. They judge it by age and amount of content. And this is what I mean by that. They just had a game come out this week.
Yeah.
It's called Rydao.
Yeah.
It's Rydao Remastered: The Mystery of the Soulless Army.
Mm-hmm.
That's $50.
Right.
Right. That's a $50 game.
Yep.
Metaphor last year, $70.
Right.
Persona 3 Reload and Infinite Wealth, $70. But Pirate Yakuza 60, The Man Who Erased His Name 50, Like a Dragon Ishin 60. So like, and then I'm like looking at like, okay, how much was Sonic Frontiers? I'm like, okay, $60. So like, the impression that I am getting from Sega is that they took this very literally, and they're like, if it is a new game that has the full amount of content, we are going to charge you $70.
Right.
If it is an old game, like older than 3 or 4 years, or it just has less shit in it, we are going to charge you $50 to $60.
Right. Yeah.
And if it's a very, very old game, in the case of like Persona 4 Golden, or like something like that, we're gonna charge you like $20 to $40.
Rhino's a real interesting case because it says remastered, but they had to like remake the entire game. So they like So that being 50 makes a lot of sense when you understand that whole thing, because otherwise, like that's a hard sell. It's just like, here's this game that not a whole lot of people know about, and it's just a whole bunch of work got put in to remake that. But,
I mean, I almost picked it up when I got the Amazon credit. I was asking people like, "Is this game worth playing?"
I hear it's good, and then they remade like the worst part of it, which was the combat, and then it's a from the Shin Megami Tensei people, right? Like.
Yeah, I'm a fan of those guys.
People who have been Persona 5, it's a big thing. People are dying to pick those games up now. So
I would like to say though, it's like you can't keep buying RPGs and not finishing them. You can't keep doing this.
The kids can.
Like
I don't know.
I'm like, well, no, the kids can just finish them. I was one of those kids.
Yeah.
I just finished the fucking games.
Right.
So yeah, like I'm still playing through Metaphor and Persona 3, and like it's been I won't say 4 years because it came out in December. In 4 years, but I am right at the end of Cyberpunk. I did it.
Finally.
I did it, boys.
All right.
I'm gonna come back on this show in like 3 years and be like, hey, you know that Persona 5 Royal Platinum I started in 2020? I got it done finally.
Wonderful. That's great, Bronson. Here are your pills.
Ego Grandpa.
Right. Hey, let's stay on the topic of Sega.
Sega.
Speaking of how Sega does sales, it actually kind of revealed those numbers for some things.
Yeah, those got leaked. There was a major presentation document that got leaked on the Sega Sammy Investors Relations website, and it's kind of interesting. Some of these sold less than I thought they would.
Okay.
So the big all-star is Persona 5 Royal, sold 7.25 million copies.
Sure.
Which, hey, that's killer.
Yeah.
For a game with that kind of budget, that's like, holy shit, you're doing backflips. But Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth did 1.66 million. Yakuza Like a Dragon did 2.86, and this is lifetime.
Yeah.
Persona 3 Reload did 2.07.
Mm-hmm.
Sonic Frontier did 4.57. Sonic Superstars 4.43. Shin Megami Tensei 5 including Vengeance 2.11. Team Sonic Racing 3.5 mil, and Total War 3 Kingdoms 3.21 mil. What this tells me, and Sega seems pretty happy with these numbers. Like, Sega is not like they're opening a new Sega store in Japan this year, right? Like, they're gonna have a flagship store. They're stoked about these numbers.
Yeah.
And kind of what it tells me is Sega gets the assignment of, and Sega's not perfect. They have a bunch of gross practices about deluxe editions and pre-orders I could rant about.
Sure.
But they get the assignment of the reason why Yakuza games are really cheap to make is because they spend a lot of money on the first one. And then they reuse those assets to death. They'll make some new assets. They'll change some things.
Yeah.
But Kamurocho in Yakuza 4 is very much the same layout as all the other ones that have come out over the past 14 or so years.
Mm-hmm.
It is just different points in time.
Yeah.
As the series is all in the same place. Like a Dragon and Infinite Wealth made new settings. But even then, they still use, and Like a Dragon was like their new base. Like we updated, we did a big fresh engine refresh. We're gonna add a new setting, and then Infinite Wealth we're gonna build like that. And then in the case of Persona 3 Reload, well, that's using a bunch of assets from Persona 5. But like, guys, you can put out games not only faster, but you can also have them be really good and affordable to make. So instead of having to sell a cajillion copies, you have to sell like 2 million copies, which is very doable.
Yeah. Right.
And they're the number 1 rated publisher of last year, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yep. Metacritic's they were the highest last year, barely beating out Capcom, Axis, and Sony. They had a great year last year. A lot of that was because of Metaphor, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Good for them.
So yeah, they had a great year last year. But no, it's actually like looking at this and thinking about the games they make, I'm like, yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had a thought there and it left. Sega. I don't know. They're making moves. They're trying. They're pushing.
Oh boy, they're trying.
Yakuza has been quite something for them as of late. Sonic continues to be this strange thing, this popular weird thing. Persona continues to go strong, but in weird ways. I don't know. Yeah. As always, it's a little weird over at Sega. Even like good times, bad times.
Yeah, like it's a company where it's just like all these games are really great and they do sell like good full games, but then they're putting out like that Persona 3 Reload expansion pack that just kind of feels like it should have been a part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
There's shit like that, or there's like you look at like the pre-order bonuses for Infinite Wealth, which included 2 of the jobs in the job system. It's just like, this is fucking gross. So I don't know.
It's strange, but
then they put out Metaphor, which didn't have any of that garbage, and it was a great game. So right. I don't, It doesn't make any fucking sense.
They're this giant company. They're just trying out different things, and it's like you're doing all right.
It's like worse than Capcom, which like Capcom has kind of two monetization models I've noticed. There's the Street Fighter 6 model, which is just like yeah, idiots are gonna buy these. Otherwise, just put out tons and tons of costumes for this game, and no one's gonna buy it. Just do it. Just keep putting out Street Fighter 6 costumes, and whales will keep it going.
Yeah.
And like we'll keep doing our season passes. And then they have like stuff for their single player games like Devil May Cry and like Resident Evil and Dragon's Dogma, where they're like, okay, look, we're gonna put these out a little bit after the game is out, like a week after. I'm barely gonna mention them. You don't need them to enjoy the game. We're barely gonna talk about them, and we're gonna hope that people ignore them. That's the goal here. Like we're just gonna make sure that people, like, we can tell our investors and our board people, hey, yeah, the game has microtransactions. They're just not doing well. They're just not doing great. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we have the option to buy red orbs. No. Like that's the vibe you get. Like I'm like playing Resident Evil 4 remake on release, and like talking, and like a week later they're like, you can buy money for Mercenaries, I guess. And I'm like, why would you ruin Mercenaries? So it's great. It's great. Like because like I as the consumer who is aware of what's happening is just like, this is totally because someone at that company is lying their asses off to an investor.
Mm-hmm.
That is what is happening here.
That's what you gotta do.
Yeah, well, no, you know, Wooly had that talk. Investors exist to be lied to.
Yeah.
I know this isn't a news story we have in the docket, but since we're talking about Capcom, Monster Hunter is not in the best place.
Man, it's not.
Which is, well, if you're a PC player, it's in actually a really bad space. But not my problem. But if you're on PC, you have to go in and clear your computer's shader cache to get it to run right.
Dude.
Sometimes. But that said, they're just not putting out enough content for it. Some people feel, and then the other people feel that like they may be over monetizing it, which I'm just like, well, I mean, yeah, it's an MMO or MMO light for Japanese people. Of course they are. Of course they're gonna have a Street Fighter sticker pack for $2 to $6 per sticker / emote. Of course they're gonna charge you $6 for a cami outfit. Why wouldn't they? So there's that. And a lot of people consider the game too easy. I don't know. I'm still having fun. My girlfriend and I played it 2 weeks ago.
That's the thing. I don't know. I feel like the main people of Monster Hunter, consider it too easy. I don't know if that's impacting their sales numbers much. I mean, the thing is, I think casual people are more likely to fall off and play some other games, whereas the people that are going to keep your thing going, if they're not satisfied with this, they're going to play older Monster Hunter games, and that's it.
I think that's true because like my girlfriend and I had a great time picking it back up, and we both just kind of like, even like having, you know, a month and a half off and being really rusty, and like we never got like, you know, I only got carded once, and we beat all the monsters without running out of lives, and we were in high rank.
Yeah.
Like we accidentally did the one they added in Title Update 1, Mitsasune, I believe it is. We accidentally did that. We didn't know what that quest was for, and like, yeah, we had no issues. We killed it super easy.
Which, you know, again, we go back to like this goes back to the Dark Souls conversation. Like, what if Dark Souls was easier, and what would happen?
Yeah. And I think that was answered because I think Elden Ring is significantly easier than any of the Dark Souls games. Especially,
well, I mean, yes, but it still is that game. They struck that balance really well, so it still was like me 70 hours later. Is like, I don't want to step into this world ever again.
They did, but then like me, I looked at like I realized about 12 hours into that game where I was like, oh, if you get the right build, you just break the shit out of every last bit of this game.
Sure.
It trivializes this entire game.
Yeah.
So I think they'll fix it. And to be fair, I feel like Monster Hunter World had a similar thing going on, just not as bad. Or yeah, World had a similar thing going on, just not as bad. And then that got fixed when they did the first expansion, which this goes back to Duncan's point of Monster Hunter is universally better when they put out the expansion.
Right, exactly.
It's like it's almost better to wait, but I was excited because I hadn't played Monster Hunter in a long time, and it was the first Monster Hunter I could experience new with my girlfriend.
We're just doing the cycle again, and this is it's a little more extreme this time around. So
I feel like that's like violent reactions to almost everything now. Like I feel like just the reaction to shit is just visceral.
I mean, yeah,
just people get pissed. So yeah, like. And I'm just like out here being like, I mean, cool, bro. They'll make this is a franchise that is so big. I know they will make the game good eventually.
Yeah.
So I will just come back to it then.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, oh, it's not good right now. Cool, I'll be back in a year. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Versus like, yeah, Mind's Eye. I have no faith it's going to be good in a year. I don't know if that studio will even be around in a year. So
right.
I'm like,
man.
Anyway, next news story.
Next news story. We got two Segas and a Capcom on this image here.
You do.
But hey, third-party Switch 2 games are slow. This doesn't surprise me much. I feel like this happened before with Nintendo consoles.
This happens like universally every time a Nintendo console launches, except for like the original Wii. And this one is kind of interesting because there has been a third-party game that has sold very well. It's been Cyberpunk. So the developers even said, yeah, this is doing better than we thought it would do. However, all the others are doing bad. And there's a little bit of conspiracy brain in the Nintendo community going on right now.
Okay.
Because what is Cyberpunk doing different from all those games?
I don't know. It's a big giant game that is running well on a Switch 2. I don't know.
No, it is the only game as a third party that is entirely on the cartridge. All of those other games are game key card games. So where you put the cartridge in, and like you have to download the game. Versus Cyberpunk is almost entirely on the cartridge outside of an update. Which there is some the conspiracy is, or not I guess the conspiracy, but like the thought is oh wow, people actually went and did this boycott. Like they want the full game on cart. They want it. They actually fully want the full game on cart. Which I don't think that's what's going on, personally.
Absolutely not. No one is thinking that deeply on this.
I think what's actually happening is there's kind of a couple of different camps. I think there's people who are just very content to get Mario Kart and then wait for games, like other games. I think that there are people who like got Mario Kart and Cyberpunk, because Cyberpunk is the biggest game of the launch besides Mario Kart.
Right.
And that's more than enough content for the vast majority of players.
Yep.
Like that's like Mario Kart and Cyberpunk together, that is way more than enough for the average gamer. And then lastly, there are the people who just they just buy a Nintendo system for Nintendo games.
Yep.
And they're happy with Mario Kart and waiting for Donkey Kong. So.
Yeah, we did this before. These games exist elsewhere. I don't know, man.
And it's not like it's new games. Like if these were like new games also coming out on the Switch 2, that'd be one thing. Like if this was like if Tony Hawk was launching a month earlier and it was a launch title, yeah, that'd probably be doing great. Because people would be like, oh, I can play Tony Hawk on my new portable, and it's a new game. But like, if you were really interested in Sonic X Shadow Generations or Street Fighter 6 or Yakuza 0 or Hogwarts Legacy, unless you are someone who only played on the Switch, which, to be fair, there are a lot of those, you probably like have played those. Like, I have played the shit out of Street Fighter 6. I have no reason to get it again. I have played a lot of, a bunch of these games. I'm kind of sad that Fast Fusion did not do well, apparently, then, if this is true.
Yeah.
And I'm even sadder that Bravely Default, that means that also didn't do well.
Right.
But I'm also not surprised because, like, dude, you're launching around like a ton of other games. Like it's a launch, so you're because we got the Zelda updates through the like, you're also competing with updates to two of the best goddamn video games ever made. Like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, 60 FPS, 4K Splatoon, 4K Mario Odyssey, Pokemon not running like shit.
Right.
You're competing with all of that.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not surprising. And like, Yakuza 0 is one of my favorite games of all time. That's an amazing video game. It's in my opinion probably the best or second best Yakuza game. I don't want to pay to play it again with like 30 minutes of additional cutscenes. I don't need it.
I mean, again, I think Yakuza 0 Director's Cut on a handheld game console, I could see that providing some fairly decent sales that roll out over time, but it's not like they're jumping on it immediately.
And that's the thing. I do think some of these will get overtime sales.
Yeah.
Like, I think in the coming months as like people wrap up Mario Kart and people finish playing through the Zeldas again and Donkey Kong, like, there's a little bit of a slow period in August, September, and early October until Pokemon's out, right? Like, there's a little bit of a slow period. I can see people going back and be like, oh, Rune Factory, I like cozy games, I'll play this new Rune Factory thing. Or like, oh man, like, I love F-Zero, Fast Fusion, or I always liked Street Fighter when I was younger, or this, this Hitman or Yakuza things look cool. At the launch? Like, fuck no.
Right.
What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like, I felt like I would not have bought Cyberpunk if we didn't do that fucking video. Like, that's why I bought Cyberpunk. I own Cyberpunk for the Switch. Like, I'm happy because it's cross save, actually.
That's nice.
So I can like move my PC save over, so that's kind of nice. But
yeah.
like, if I was someone who like was just buying this for me and we weren't doing content, I would have gotten my bundle with Mario Kart. I would have bought Fast Fusion, played the free updates, and then maybe Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. Maybe.
Sure.
Like, because I like Puyo Puyo Tetris 1 a lot. But like, I couldn't believe the amount of people who bought Bravely Default in our Discord. Like, I have all those people on my Switch friend list, and I like log on and I see like 5 people playing Bravely Default HD, and I'm like, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. I like, a lot of people are saying this is the canary in the coal mine. This is what's gonna happen. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, dude, the system is sold out everywhere you go.
It's sold so much. We have Donkey Kong, we have Metroid, we have Pokemon coming up later in the year. We have the Christmas sales coming. Like, everyone chill out.
Yeah, and then like you have, and not only that, but like you have, there's potential of Kirby Air Ride coming out this year, and I never got around to the new Mario Party. My girlfriend's excited for it. I'm gonna end up buying that for the Switch. I never got around to Kirby in the Forgotten Land. I'm probably gonna buy the Switch 2 version because it's better and all 4K'd out. So it's like, I just don't see the panic yet. I'm sorry, I just don't see the reason to like be like this thing's gonna provide, because like, does everyone remember the Switch 1 launch?
Doubtful.
Okay, so the Switch 1, first off, this launch as far as game sales go is blowing the Switch 1 out of the water.
Right.
Like as far as like total copies of everything sold. Let's also remember the Switch 1 launch titles in North America. Yeah, Breath of the Wild. Okay. 1-2 Switch. Just Dance. Skylanders. Super Bomberman R. I Am Setsuna. Snipper Clips. Shovel Knight. And Fast RMX.
Uh-huh.
I have never seen, the only other launch lineup I have seen get carried harder more by one game is the Nintendo 64.
Right.
And that's not to say that Shovel Knight and Fast RMX are bad games. I love both those
Not at
games,
all.
but like, it's not Breath of the fucking Wild.
Yeah.
You know, similarly to how Pilot Wings is a great game, it is not Mario goddamn 64.
Right.
So
Yeah, so I don't know. This is fine. It's fine. They've sold a ridiculous amount of Switch 2s.
they're still selling. Like the I've had like multiple people like in our area or in my area be like, hey, you guys know where to get one? And like if you'll go on the Discord, people are like, hey, I found 2 at a Walmart. I finally got mine. And I'm like, sick, dude. Congrats. Enjoy it. Yeah. I just think that this system elicits like a lot of big mad because of like everything that went along with it.
I don't know. There's this. You're seeing these people. I am not. Thankfully, I'm dealing with enough bullshit on the internet. But
yeah, you don't wade in the scum.
I'm not wading in this particular scum. So how much of this is people mad that the games are $80? How much of this is people mad that it's $500? And how much of this is really mad that we're switching more to digital, because that's happening, across media.
I think that a lot of people saw Nintendo as the last holdout on a lot of stuff, and they feel betrayed by this. And then like a lot of people are complaining about the paid upgrades, but I'm just like, all of this is stuff that Sony PlayStation, Microsoft Xbox did 5 years ago. Like Sony's been charging $10 for upgrades forever,
Right?
and like that's been a thing. Like the launch titles being thin is not new to console launches.
Mm-hmm. Right.
How it goes. Like, in fact, this has actually been better in that case, because the Switch 1 was so outdated, the fact that all these games are getting updates means I actually have way more to play. Like, significantly more to play.
Right.
Is what is happening in my case. Like, I'm going back to Link's Awakening because playing it doesn't give me headaches anymore.
I might give another shot at playing Pokemon now that it runs well.
Yes, I bought Pokemon because it doesn't run like shit anymore. So, and then we get anecdotal evidence about, and then there's some people that are complaining that's not a big enough leap in innovation for Nintendo, because this is the first time they've done an iterative console in a long time, which is true.
It's true.
But like, dude, when the Switch 1 wraps up, it might be the best-selling console ever. At minimum, it's going to be the second best-selling console ever.
It's the best-selling console. We're still in the middle of this run of like the handheld console is the thing. We are still deep in that. Like literally, like it's the Steam Deck that is the big competitor in that market, and then ROG Ally,
Xbox Ally as well.
Right, Xbox Ally is coming here, and so we're still in it, man. Like I think this is the right move for them.
And the thing is just like, I constantly hear, oh, get a Steam Deck, get a Steam Deck, get a Steam Deck from all these people complaining about this. I'm like,
you were big on Steam Deck for a good long time there.
I love my Steam Deck. I still use it. It's just that, like, here's my thing, is that is not a mass market device. It's just not. It's just fucking not. Okay? Like, I love my Steam Deck. I still use it. I still play it. I was playing that Power Rangers, I think, not Battle for the Grid, that one you got me for Christmas, Rita's Rewind on it recently.
Yeah.
It's yes, it's great. The problem with the Steam Deck is there's a bunch of techie bullshit you have to do to maximize how it works. When I buy a game on the Switch 2, I know it's just gonna work. It's gonna run fine. Like, if I download, the example I'm gonna use, because I have a recent story for this that I told you before the podcast, I download Burnout Paradise on my Switch/Switch 2, it's gonna work. It's gonna be Burnout Paradise. It's gonna run fine, look fine. It's not gonna be the prettiest it'll ever be. I'll get to play the game and play it quickly. Here was my experience with fucking playing Burnout Paradise on my Steam Deck last night. Now, I have not touched my Steam Deck since the Switch 2 came out, because I've been so enamored with going through Breath of the Wild again and Mario Kart and Link's Awakening.
You only have so many hands. You can't hold them both.
Yeah. I wish I could. I wish I had 2 heads and 2 hands.
You wish you were
play
Goro.
2 games at once. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Don't we all?
So I was like, I'm gonna play some Burnout Paradise before I get into this Power Rangers thing. And I click on the game, and that's a game that's an EA game, so it requires a launcher. So the launcher boots, and then it crashes. It crashed back to the Steam OS. Not the Steam OS, but like the main Steam.
Yeah.
Okay, I hit play again. It loads into the game. It is not recognizing the controls. Okay, I exit out of the game and like go into the Steam OS controller setting at the game level and say, hey, please use the Steam thing.
Mm-hmm.
Love the game. Still have the same problem. Okay, go on Reddit or Google, which led me to Reddit. That gave me, hey, you need to run this in Proton Experimental so it'll recognize the controls. I go into the settings, I change it to Proton Experimental, and then it works. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. And it is too, like, could you imagine, like, a kid or a teenager or just an average person who wants to play a handheld game doing that?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, it has to be connected to the internet, because that's checking with EA servers. If I was not connected to the internet, I would have been screwed. That's not every game.
Right.
That's not every game. I loaded up Power Rangers and Hades later that night, and they ran great. They ran awesome. They had no problems. Loaded straight into the game. Fine. But the problem is Steam's like method for telling you if something works is bad. Like, it says Baldur's Gate is great on deck. Baldur's Gate in Cities and in Act 3 runs like shit on Steam Deck.
Damn.
It runs like absolute dog shit. This feels like a bad Switch port in those areas of the game. A bad Switch 1 port in those areas of the game. It should not be deck verified. Period. Or alternatively, you'll have games that say they're not deck verified, but run fine on deck. Batman Arkham Asylum says it's not deck verified. I got to run fine.
Okay.
No problem at all. What you have to do in that instance, because you can't trust Steam to be accurate, anytime I want to buy a game to specifically play on Steam Deck and not just my computer, I have to either go on Steam Deck HQ or Proton DB to see how the game runs. Like, for example, the Mafia games, I got those on a very deep Steam sale. I got all 3 games for like $8 earlier this summer. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, those games, not deck verified. Not deck verified at all. But I want to play them on deck. So I look up Mafia Definitive Edition, and it's latest as gold. So what's that mean? This game. So you look through so you have to look through the comments and see. Okay, what version of Proton do I use? What are the issues it could have? Etc. etc.
Yeah.
So it's a level of annoyance. And the thing is the ROG Ally solves some of these issues, and so do all the other PC handhelds, because they have Windows access, right?
Right.
Like the Legion Go, those, they come with a new issue of having to use a portable version of Windows, which is not great, not awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that Microsoft gets this mobile version of Windows figured out and it does a great job. So that way I don't have to worry about this. Then I can just buy an Xbox Ally or an ROG Ally X or Ally 2. Not have to worry about this anymore, because like right now this is like legitimately the biggest problem with the PC handheld space, and why I think that none of them are. And then the fact that the price for them is crazy.
Right.
Like they're not mass market devices. Like the Steam Deck has a $400 model, but that thing also has an even worse screen and worse battery life than the Switch 2. And then you have the base ROG Ally, which the chip inside it is a potato. Like it's not good. It'll do like small indie titles, sure, that's fine. Like if you want like a real like good mobile handheld PC handheld, the real price is a Steam Deck OLED at $550, and that's like the minimum.
Right, that's the minimum price for something that's going to be finicky, and you're going to have to troubleshoot, and like,
that sucks. Like, especially like, and the thing is like, if this was a home device, I wouldn't be as hard on this. I wouldn't be as upset about this. But the nature of a portable device is I just want to pick it up and go. Like if I'm playing like something on my Steam Deck or something on my Switch before bed, okay, cool, take it out of the case, play it a little bit, put it away. I'm chilling in the living room in San Francisco for Christmas. All right, boom, pull it out, play a game. Oh, we're going to Japantown. Cool. Put it in the case, put it in the bag, go. I don't want to be like, hey guys, what's your Wi-Fi so I can hook up my Steam Deck so the EA launcher can connect to it. Like, just Christ Almighty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't look. Switch 2's doing well. It has a pretty good, solid case for carrying the rest of the year just on its own back.
Yes, and I do think that like Hollow Knight 1 did very well on Switch. I do think Silksong is also going to do banger numbers on Switch too.
Wouldn't be surprised. The new game coming out on the Switch too.
Yes, I think a lot of this. I just think a lot of people are mad about the price still of the system and the game. Games that are $80, which so far they have not said that any games besides Zeldas and Mario Kart are $80. And this is my conspiracy theory. I think that is just to literally push you to get the bundle or the online service. That's what I think that is there to do.
Okay.
Because Donkey Kong is their big game for the year. That's $70. Pokemon is $70. Metroid, we don't know yet.
Probably 70?
But like, well, the Switch 1 version is 60, so I imagine they'll continue the $10 trend.
Right.
So it's like and who knows? Like it may be variable, and variable pricing might be in fact true. And let's say next year we get like we're doing Smash Bros. Smash Bros. Ultimate 2. This is gonna be sick as hell.
Yeah.
And then yeah, sure, it'll be they'll put it out and they'll be like, yeah, this is gonna be $80.
If if this new Mario Kart's $80, Smash Bros. Definitely 80.
I mean, that goes into my conspiracy theory, right? It's just like, maybe this is literally just to push you to the bundle. Like, that's, like I said, this is to push as many people as possible to the bundle.
I mean, maybe, but also, even if that is the case, I still think that provides enough of an argument of like, hey, here's the game that everyone gets for their Nintendo console. Why wouldn't you put it at 80 anyway?
That's fair. That's true. I definitely think the next Zelda will be 80. Tears of the Kingdom 2
Zelda,
or whatever the hell they
Mario Kart, Smash Bros.
Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is totally gonna be $80. They're
gonna put so much work into this new Animal Crossing, I swear.
I mean, that's a Splatoon team too. That's the funny part.
Yeah.
That's what that studio makes. I would love for them to be like, we took all that Animal Crossing money and look at Splatoon 4.
Oh my god. Oh, I would love that so much.
But I've been playing Splatoon 3 in almost all of my downtime right now. It's such a good game.
It's interesting, Splatoon's an interesting one of like they've obviously iterated, but it's been Splatoon from 1 to 3, and it's like, hell yeah. I love that they're doing what they're doing. Cool.
They've made some big improvements. My main complaint with Splatoon, especially Splatoon 2 and 3, is like it takes too long to get like your stuff to feel like you have a character with that not only looks cool but also has like a fully kitted out setup.
Well, full kit. You got. I mean, that's part of the motivation to play beyond enjoying it is like here's something to work towards. You got a full kit. I understand wanting to look cool and get a weapon that you like, but full kit like.
But man, I'm like 10 hours into that game, and I don't even have. I have one piece of clothing that has all the perk thing circles.
You're here for the long haul, my friend.
This is
What I want is clothes that I like the look of, and a weapon that I enjoy well enough. Even if they're not full stats, like I want to at least hit that quickly, and then make the fight to get higher gear.
You know what? Fair. I actually used one of those gold tickets you get to get like the gun I really wanted. That's like the nicer version of the base version.
Yeah.
And like I've just been messing people up with this thing.
Yeah.
Just going around, just like, especially because I'm starting to master the movement of like, oh, dude, if I just pop paint, pop down paint, pop down paint, pop down paint, and like I'm just flanking people, going around them, messing with their head. It's so good.
It's good. There's a number of ways to play it too. Like you can hang back and just concentrate on just covering the ground in paint. You can be working on taking out guys. You can take on different roles that the game doesn't necessarily like give you like you do this or this. Like you become it yourself, and if you have a team that can coordinate, it's fantastic.
Let's see.
I wonder how that side Splatoon game will be.
I'm curious. I think it feels like it's gonna have survival elements. Is the vibe I'm getting, and base building.
I mean, yeah,
it definitely looks like it's gonna have base building.
Not a fan of that, but the fact that it's Splatoon makes I will give it a shot. It's Splatoon. I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yeah, yes. Nintendo seems to do stuff like a year at a time, so I get the impression we're gonna get maybe one more announcement for something this year, and then I think we're not gonna hear shit till January or February. We'll get our like beginning of 2026. We'll get our E3, not E3.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see when that comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. I think that's enough on the Switch too. We've talked that plenty here.
Our weekly Switch 2 check-in.
Yeah. We got one more news story for you. So let's go ahead and get into this. This is such a weird story to me. I find this whole I can wait, but I'm very interested in the release of Borderlands 4. What is going on here, Bronson? You gave me a preview of this. I'm like, what? What?
Okay, so all right, they got a collector's edition, right?
Right. I understand the concept of a collector's edition.
They have a collector's edition. They have a deluxe edition. Depending on how much DLC you want, and they have like a Giga Deluxe edition. But they also have their collector's edition, which is $150.
Mm-hmm.
And it includes like a statue, a cloth map, some art prints, a vault symbol necklace, and some in-game shop code cards. Now you may notice I didn't say something. Something is missing.
There is something missing.
That is the game. It does not include the game. So that means at minimum, you will have to spend an extra $70 for the game. But because it does not, the game itself does not include their 6 DLC packs they're planning to do, which in Borderlands, those are actually important. That version, the $130 version, will have all the DLC packs in it. And then which will include all those DLC packs, which contain a new story, a Vault Hunter, a map, regions, and more loot. So if you want the full Borderlands 4 experience with every bit of DLC, the collector's edition with the statue, the full shebang, you are looking at a grand total of $280.
So, to me, this is saying that this is a bet by Randy Pitchford and whoever else has been trapped in his mansion with him.
Or Soul. Go on.
That Borderlands still swings hard. It still commands an army.
I know that latest one didn't, but sure.
So,
like Borderlands 3 did not do well, but sure.
That's what I'm thinking, right? Like okay, Fallout continues to be what it is, and people just come. They love Fallout.
Yeah.
Skyrim, whatever state that comes out in, like people are gonna come to it unless it's just absolute trash. Like that's gonna happen. There are other games that I think of that like there's an audience that is waiting to come and help this thing along. Borderlands. When was the last time Borderlands was that?
So I think there was a moment when Borderlands 2 came out where it really did feel like the biggest game of that year. I remember the Game of the Year debate when we were working at the old place was Journey versus Walking Dead versus Borderlands 2.
Right.
That was the conversation. And then it eventually boiled down to Walking Dead versus Borderlands 2. And Borderlands 2 was a fucking great game. And then it has just kind of felt like it sells well, but I don't know anyone who's into this.
I heard good things about the Telltale games.
I loved the Tales from the Borderlands, both of those.
Right.
Both of those games were sick as hell. My girlfriend and I are playing the second one, but so far it's been super funny. And the first one is probably my second favorite Telltale game.
Okay. Yeah. So all right, that's good.
And the last time that I heard like buzz, but I don't, I'm talking about the main series games,
right,
though.
Right.
Like 1, 2, 3 pre-sequel. The last time I remember being someone into it is I was 25. And I was dating this girl who really loved the pre-sequel and was playing a lot of it on the Xbox One. And that was basically it. Like that's the last time I remember. I remember Borderlands 3, the reception being pretty bad, but apparently not, because I just looked up the sales for the franchise. Borderlands 2 did 30 million.
Okay.
Borderlands 3 did 22 million.
It was downgrade, but that's still a ridiculous amount of copies.
Yeah. And then the franchise as a whole has done, over 90 million. It's closing in on 100 million.
So this is actually going to be a really good test, because I find it absolutely nuts the amount of times people will buy multiple versions of The Last of Us. I find it insane.
Oh, I understand when you're getting... Okay, look, I am no stranger to buying the same game twice. But, like, I need to feel like I'm getting a tangible benefit. So, like, PS3 to PS4 Last of Us, like, it now ran at 60 FPS. It was full 1080. It's on PS4 now. The people who are buying Last of Us 1 on PS5, who are you people? What are you doing? It's literally not like, I get that it's in the Last of Us 2 engine, and it's like, that's a little prettier. It looks better for sure. It does not look $70 better, and it does not like. That game runs on a PS5. You can play the PS4 one.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like there's nothing stopping you.
So I'm sitting here looking at this. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No.
I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking, like, all right, this is a good test because there is a Borderlands fan base out there.
It's huge. It's apparently huge.
But like, okay, do you have the money to waste? Are you going to buy this collector's edition without a game and then buy the game separately and validate this whole thing?
And buy the game separately and all of its DLC, which if you were to max out all the DLC with the collector's edition, $280.
You guys got the money, I guess. Like, but I think this is a new push for me.
I have the money, and I don't know. Fuck off.
But that's the thing. Again, if you're a Borderlands fan, then if you have the money and you're a Borderlands fan, you're gonna get it. It's 4.
Okay, I'm gonna give you an example of me. Like, I am a Ghost of Yote fan,
sure.
Ghost of Tsushima fan. Ghost of Yote has a collector's edition. It's pretty cool. It has like a pop-up book with art from the game, some lithographs, like currency and a mask. Like, these are cool physical products. And then a deluxe edition of the game digitally. All right, this is a cool little thing. Okay, like this is actually a lot.
Right.
It's $250. Fuck off. You know, like same thing with like I bought the collector's edition of Spider-Man 2. I bought it 2 years later, or no, a year later on a Black Friday sale. So instead of paying $230, I ended up paying like $140. You know, all right. I got that big statue and a bunch of shit for it.
Yeah.
Like it's you know, for that quality of statue and that big, that was actually ended up being kind of a steal for me.
All right.
But like, this is madness. This is absolute.
It is. It's yeah. Yep.
That's more than half the price of a PlayStation 5.
Again, I think this is an interesting. I want to see the results of this because is Borderlands on that level? Sales numbers suggest it previously, but this is a gamble.
Yep. I you know, and I used to like that series. Like it's gun Diablo with kind of shitty humor.
Right. The humor that is not getting better as time goes on.
No, like Handsome Jack was funny. Trying to do that with other characters again and again makes me want to hang myself. So just, I don't know. I just pulled it up on Steam, and there are apparently 5 people that I know that have this on their wish list. So,
you know,
you know, it's not $80, which everyone speculated if you just want the game.
And you know, it could be the game sells really well, but then this collector's edition was like a bad bet.
And the DLC might be a bad bet. Like you could just get a bunch of people buying the game at $70 and then ignoring all the rest of this, or doing what I did, where like I played Borderlands 2 when it came out, and then I bought the DLC and played the DLC like 3 years later, when it was on Steam sale for like a penny. You know, so
yeah,
there is that.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. I don't know. I think a bunch of people have money that I don't have. Is this what I'm taking away from this?
Well, no, it's either that or they just prioritize their money differently. Like,
could be. I don't know, man. I don't think there's this goes back to where I'm at with games right now. Where it's like I can't imagine spending this amount of money on a single game.
Oh, I could not imagine spending $280 on a single game.
Even with all the collector's edition stuff. Like, I just nope.
Yeah, no, like I could not imagine if I like if GTA 6 came out tomorrow with a collector's edition, and like here you're getting 6 DLC packs, $280. I think that might be the only game that would make me consider it. And I would even then probably just buy the game, see if the game is good, and then buy the DLCs as they come out.
Right.
And ignore the collector's edition. Like, just because I've also been burned by collector's editions. This is the shady part about collector's editions. You usually can only get them via pre-order because they sell out, right? Unless the game does incredibly poorly.
Yeah.
The problem is you don't know if the game is good, so I don't want to make that risk. So, like, Last of Us 2 is a good video game. I bought the collector's edition for it because I had a lot of faith in that team. I now have a statue for Last of Us 2 that I feel kind of lukewarm about it because the game is good, but it's not a game I'm like happy to have a statue about.
Yeah.
You know? Versus like, yeah, I'm still stoked about my Halo Reach and Halo 3 statues. I'm like, yeah, those things are sick.
That was, yeah. I mean that's that's a certain time, and you want to talk about like the top tier of games over the years, man. You picked some real good collector's editions to go for.
Yeah, I also have the Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal ones too.
Good bets.
I outside of Last of Us 2, I have made really good collector's edition bets. That's also to be fair, I also tried to get Breath of the Wild, just sold out everywhere immediately, or else I would have gotten that one as well.
Right.
Yeah. I can't remember the last time I was jazzed to like buy a collector's edition. I thought about Spider-Man 2, but like collector's editions are now into the 200 to 250 range. I'm just like, no, absolutely not.
And can't.
And the thing is, like, where I am with games, like, I still love games to death. It's just that, like, I look at this, and then I also like my house is 700 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
It's a house. It's in Reno. It is a house. I have a full yard, but like, I have a lot of space to put this shit. Like realistically, I have room for like one, maybe two more statues.
Right.
So it's like it's not even worth it from that sense unless I like want to like sell this Last of Us one.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, it's not even worth it there. Like it's just and the thing is, it's just like some people have different priorities, some people have a lot of different money to burn because like I know people who are that big of Last of Us fans. Who, like, if Last of Us 3 were announced tomorrow and they had a $250 collector's edition, day one buy for them. Day one buy for them. They don't even
yeah.
And
Borderlands just may be one of those franchises. At 22 million is a crazy amount.
Well, like I know plenty of people who doubled up on Death Stranding. So Death Stranding on the beach had a $230 collector's edition, which is out on the 26th. But then they also bought the digital deluxe edition for $70 so they could play it 3 days early.
Oh my lord!
They spent because they love Kojima and Death Stranding that much. Okay, is there a game or even a movie franchise or some franchise of some series where you would pay over $200 for a collector's edition?
Skate 4 gives me a skate deck. Stickers or shit. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Then
but like that's like usually decks are like 50 to 100. So yeah, I mean it would be skateboarding because I would actually use that most likely.
And that makes sense.
And then that thing breaks in like 6 months, whatever. But
I'm actually curious what's in this Death Stranding collector's edition.
If I'm looking at the Death Stranding 2 one right now.
Yeah, you get the 3-inch doll man figure, special box, art cards, a letter from Hideo Kojima.
Which, yeah.
And then a 15-inch Mega Man statue.
Magellan Man, please.
Man. Oh, sorry.
And then a bunch of in-game items, which whatever.
Magellan Man. Yeah, I'm sure those will be nice perks to get you ahead in the game.
I guess. I just
Yeah, like like I said, I'm very particular about collector's editions. It's been a long time since I've bought one, 5 years.
Death Stranding 2 is a very interesting one because I'm looking at Magellan Man here. It's like, I like Death Stranding. I don't know what the hell that is. I could hate it. I don't know. I can't bet on a collector's edition with Kojima.
It is people drinking the Kojima Kool-Aid.
That's fair, but man, I'm not doing that. I can't do that.
Dude, there are a lot of people I know who are all about that Kojima Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
They love it.
Yeah.
They love the Kojima Kool-Aid.
Oh, I remember Halo 3 when it was like the Master Chief helmet. It's like, that's a really cool item. That's awesome.
Yep, I have that. And to be fair, that thing was only $130.
Yeah, back when
it came with a bunch of extra stuff too.
That was crazy. That was a crazy deal too. That was fantastic. One of the Call of Duties had sold night vision goggles.
Yeah, that was Modern Warfare 2.
That's right.
Yep. That was 2009 Modern Warfare 2. Like, there are good collector's editions out there. Like, as I said, I feel they're few and far between.
Few and far between, and I feel like a lot of them are just like, all right, we got statues, and like, to be fair, the gaming demographic is getting more and more into, all right, here's shelves, we're gonna put up a bunch of statues. Like, I get it. I've never been that person, but I get it.
I love my amiibo case.
Right.
My amiibo case is sick.
Yeah.
Statues in general, they vary. My girlfriend is a big fan of in-game props.
In-game
like if you could get like an item.
Oh, okay, items.
Yeah, or like an item from the game in real life.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
So,
yes.
So like she has and plushies. She has a whole bunch of Undertale plushies. She's also big on video game vinyl. Like she has a bunch of video game vinyl albums.
That's a good one. That's always a good one. Yeah, no, I have a friend that
she's gotten me on that train. I
mean, if she's brought a record player into your life, you want to collect some vinyls for it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, well, like we are both like just like she keeps asking me like, hey, word on the Expedition 33 vinyl, and I'm like, I'm keeping an eye out. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I remember. I think it was Metal Gear Solid 5 had like an arm.
Yeah, it had the arm from the game.
Okay, so there's another one. If Pokemon decided, hey, here's a game, and then one of those crazy life-size plushies, depending on the price, I suppose I would consider it.
I mean, fair. I get it.
Depending on the price, depending on the Pokemon. Like, let me tell you, as I can tell in certain respects, they are running out of ideas for Pokemon. So it's like the newest generation Pokemon, here it is, and it's just like, okay. Looks like a grocery store mascot, man. I don't know. Yeah. It's okay. Well, I'm blown away by it. I don't know. After hearing $22 million for Borderlands 3, I'm just assuming that this is going to do well, and I'm going to be mind blown. I don't know.
I think the game will do well. I just don't think that the collector's edition or the like $130 with all the DLC will do well.
I could see the DLC doing well if they do it right.
Yeah.
If the game's good enough and they, keep delivering on, essential DLC, then great.
Like, look, if the game comes out and it reviews well and it seems cool, I'll pick it up and then I'll wait for the DLCs as they come out.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm not gonna, it's just that there's so much to play that the concept of pre-ordering a DLC or a game seems insane to me.
Very much so.
Like, that seems like, and granted, I get it. There are some people who just have a limited scope of this shit. And fine,
right.
Sure.
Yeah.
I get it. Not everyone's out here playing Mirage Feathers and Mina the Hollower and Dispatch's demo.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway.
Well, that's interesting. That is the news. And
news.
I don't know. That was 2 hours of show there talking about video games. How you feeling?
Yeah, you should follow. You should like.
Yes, you should
sub.
follow. You should like. Check us out. We're doing podcasts. We're putting out videos. Check us out on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Enjoy. Help us out with the podcast. Help us out with the show. We really appreciate it a lot.
Yes, absolutely.
And there are more videos coming. There's more of us. So follow us where you can.
So much more of us.
So much more. You're never enough. Never enough. All right.
You will be getting an edited video this Friday or next Friday.
Yes, keep your eye out for that Mind's Eye video because it is something. Man.
Not an edited video, but that is a video. You're right.
My God. All right. I think we're calling it. That's a show for today.
Oh, I thought we were gonna show off some Resident Evil. That's what I thought we were.